Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Chilltown Hoops. I'm your host, Jermaine. The youngsters call me OG. My friends call me J-Dub. Let's get to it. You ever take a test? You studied all night for it. Not even all night. I mean, you studied all week for this test. You went over everything, and you get the test in front of you, and everything that you studied for is on the test. So you're ready. You're absolutely ready to go, and you just start breezing through this test. You got this thing down. You went over it. You got all the material, and you're breezing through this test. And then you get to a problem where this kind of trips you up. And then that ends up becoming another problem that also slows you down. And then now you start to lose confidence in yourself in the test. Like, well, wait a minute, do I know this stuff? Well, now you're going off the rails and you weren't as confident as you were before. When a little while ago, you were breezing through this thing. Well, what happened? Well, what happened was the discipline part of you got away from you. You already studied for the test. You knew everything that was on this test. And not only did you know everything that was on the test, you were breezing through it. But then you became undisciplined. You let some things trip you up and completely just throw you off the rails. And now you're completely off the track and you don't know anything on this test. That's exactly what happened last night with the Minnesota Timberwolves. We don't need to go back and watch the film. You know why we don't need to go back and watch the film? Because we already watched the film. We had these dudes 26 in the hole. You know why we had them 26 in the hole? Because we knew what they were doing. And we knew what we were going to do. We knew that our offense ran through Cat. And Cat was getting doubled. Cat was getting off the basketball. Cat was making plays. And we were basically rolling. But then something happened. Cat became undisciplined. And then he got himself into foul trouble. And then that led to us one shot or one pass, one shot. No pass, just shot. Now it's becoming to be a bigger problem and a bigger problem and a bigger problem. When a little while ago, what was working or what we were doing was working. We got away from that. And why did we get away from that? We got away from that because we became undisciplined. That's the most important part of this thing. Being disciplined. I could talk to you all day about how Cat is soft and Cat isn't a leader. You have to stay disciplined in what it is that you're doing. There's a reason why you threw these dudes 26 in a hole and then threw them back 23 in a hole. You don't need to go back and watch film because the game plan was already set and it was working. Memphis is a damn good defensive team. And they looked at Minnesota yesterday very simply. They're going to let us back in the game. And they're going to let us back in the game not because they aren't very good, but because they're undisciplined. They're going to start jacking up shots. They're going to go away from what their offense is. And they're going to let us right back in this game. And as sure as they said it, that's exactly what happened. Minnesota scores 12 points in the second quarter. And why do they score 12 points in the second quarter? Karl Anthony Towns gets himself into foul trouble. And he gets himself into foul trouble. And now they got to go away from what they were doing that got them to where they were. Now we got to go away from that. We don't need to watch film and see where we messed up at. Staying disciplined is the most important thing. Sticking to your defensive principles, knowing when to crash the glass, knowing when not to crash the glass, talking on defense, which they weren't doing. Offensively, they were completely disoriented. We had D'Angelo Russell, who is the leader, who's one of the leaders of this crew, one of the distributor of this crew, who could have settled his crew down, but instead he didn't. Anthony Edwards looking young, didn't get himself together, even though he got it going early. Pat Beverly did his job, came out as a ball of energy. Karl Anthony Towns being the leader that he is. That resonated with the crew. Because once he got into foul trouble, he got down on himself, everybody else got down. And Memphis fed on that. And that's what was able to get them back in the ball game. Ja wasn't great yesterday, so I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that, I really dig Ja. I'm not buying that 16, 10, and 10. He has 7 turnovers. And 3 of them 7 turnovers was in the fourth quarter. Missed 6 out of 8 shots in the fourth quarter on their way back to what they were doing. I think that Minnesota got out-coached yesterday. In addition to getting outplayed, I absolutely thought that they got out-coached. I thought that offense needed to be settled down, and it wasn't. The adjustment that needed to be made when Cat went out was not made because they became completely disoriented and went array. That's all they were doing. We're just going to do whatever we want. We got to get back to being a disciplined ball club. There's a reason why you guys go up the way you do. There's a reason why you guys throw them in the hole the way you do. But there's also a reason why they look at you going, they're going to let us back in this game. And it's simple. It's because you guys are undisciplined. Now, we can attribute that to being young. Well, that's where coaching comes in. That's where coaching comes in, and coaches have to reel his guys in. Okay, guys, this is what we're doing wrong. This is what we need to fix. And if that doesn't happen, what you saw yesterday is going to continue to happen. 22% in the second and fourth quarter combined for Minnesota. That is unacceptable. That is completely and utterly unacceptable. I did not like what I saw from this Minnesota team. I did not like their effort. And I did not like how undisciplined they were. That was the difference in this ball game. And that's going to be the difference moving forward. Because you obviously got the formula to put them in a hole the way you do. You did that in game 2. In game 1. You did that when you got a big lead on them in game 1. You did the same thing in game 3. You obviously have the formula. And what's the formula? Coming out with energy. Cat getting involved early. Staying disciplined. That's the most important part. Staying disciplined. And if you continue to do that, you got a good shot at winning this series. If you don't, they're going to make quick work of you guys. And since we're on the subject of quick work, I'm looking at this Golden State team, and Joker, as good as he is, as productive as he is, that Denver team doesn't have enough. They had to fight in them last night. They absolutely had to fight. They got 30 points from their bench. DeMarcus Cousins came in and gave them excellent minutes. Excellent minutes. He went after Looney. He went after Bijia. He went after both of them. And he gave them good minutes. Belicia. And he gave them great minutes. The problem is when you got Steph, Clay, and Poole all going for 80, and your other guys don't match that, or at least slow them down, because Poole is clearly outplaying Nars. And they haven't even gotten much from Andrew Wiggins. They haven't gotten much from him at all. But if you're getting that kind of production, you guys, you have no shot. And I can't say enough about Draymond Green. I can't say enough about Draymond Green and what he means to this team defensively. Not just defensively, I take that back. What he means to this unit overall. I can't say enough about him. He's their Lawrence Taylor. He's their Aaron Donald. He's their guy. So, as long as he's on the floor, I always give the Golden State Warriors a shot. Even though they're an older team, I always give them a shot. Simply because of that. Because they have him. They got a lot of wide open looks. And the reason why they got a lot of wide open looks yesterday on that Denver team is because they get a lot of action off the basketball. When the ball's moving, people are moving. And when people are moving, that means that the defense is off balance. And the thing about Golden State, which I dig the most of all teams, not only does Golden State make you guard, they make you guard for stretches. Well, what do you mean they make you guard for stretches? We don't take the first open shot that we see, which means that we could get that shot again. So make these dudes guard. Make these dudes play defense. And with making them guard, now you putting pressure on them offensively, because not only do you have to guard for stretches on the defensive end, now you also got to score too. And we don't believe you can do both. We don't. And that's been the difference in what's been going on in this Golden State-Denver series. I would be very surprised if this series went back to Golden State. I think that they finished them in 4. I thought it was going to be a 5-game series, but I'd be surprised if this thing went back to Golden State. I would be really surprised if this thing went back to Golden State. So I could talk about the Utah Jazz and how Rudy isn't viable in this series and he can't guard the 3. Now, here's what we can do. We can put Rudy on the long ball line, because it's not like Max is going to take him to the basket. No, because Rudy is programmed to be a rim protector. That's who he is. So he can guard to the rim. He's programmed to be a rim protector. But if you stretch them out and now you asking Rudy to guard on the 3-point line, what you're also doing is now you asking Donovan Mitchell, you asking Mike Conley, you asking O'Neal, and you asking Bogdanovich, you asking these dudes to keep the guys that are in front of you now in front of you, because we no longer have a rim protector. And they play defense like we have a rim protector. That's why Brunson does what he wants against Conley. That's why Mitchell gets attacked the way he gets attacked. I think these guys could be better defensively on the perimeter if they committed to it more. They rely so much on Rudy being their rim protector that they not just that they're allowed to make mistakes, but it seems that that the effort isn't there in making up for mistakes. So like when I get burnt, to recover, there is no effort to recover. I got Rudy back there. So, but if you're gonna put Rudy on the 3-point line and stretch the defense out, now you completely open up the offense, which is what Jason Kidd is doing. Which is what Jason Kidd is trying to do. He's trying to make Rudy obsolete in this series. Which, by the way, since we're on the subject of him being obsolete in this series, I mean, Rudy shot the ball. He got 6 shots yesterday. These are how many shots he missed. I just want to put that out there. He had 15 points and he had on 6 shots. And these are how many shots he missed. So I don't think that, to be honest with you, I don't think that they need Luka Doncic in this series. I don't. I do not think that they need Luka Doncic in this series. I think Jason Kidd is doing a great job in out-coaching Quinn Snyder. I think he's doing a great job in out-coaching Quinn Snyder, because when Quinn Snyder takes Rudy off the floor, now what Coach Kidd does, now what Jason Kidd does is he turns this into a spread-out offense, and he makes those guys guard on the perimeter, and they don't want to. Conley doesn't want to guard. Mitchell doesn't want to guard. And we're going downhill all day, every day. I don't think that they need Luka Doncic in this series. I don't. I think this series is a series that could very well go 6-7 games. And that's without Luka. I absolutely believe that. So I was very disappointed in Minnesota, and I hope to see a better effort. I thought Memphis was going to win this series in 6, and I thought it was going to be more competitive. And I still stand on that. I still stand on that. I think Memphis is going to win this series in 6. Like I said, Golden State, I'd be surprised if this thing went back to the Bay. But it's going to be interesting. And as far as Utah, if they could get past Dallas, I think the next round would be a better matchup for them. I don't think that they could beat Phoenix, even though Phoenix would be banged up. But I think it would be a better matchup for them. So I'll keep you guys posted. I'll absolutely keep you guys posted. So until then, take it light, but take it.